welcome back to your channel.
Ready for another cruise? Let's go! Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today you join me here in another video. We are now back from our Princess cruise, our first ever Princess cruise out of Southampton on the wonderful Sky Princess. Now for this cruise it was myself and Oliver, who is 3.5 years old. So what I wanted to do in this video is go through some of the things that you can do with your little ones on board a Princess cruise ship, and in particular on board Sky Princess. I was a little bit hesitant before going, about wondering whether or not there would be enough to do for kids on board a Princess cruise, but I was very pleasantly surprised, and Oliver had an absolutely great time on board. So what I thought I'd do in this video is go through some of the different things that we found on board that we really liked from Princess. Now obviously the first thing you can do on most cruise ships, and Princess is no different, is go to the kids club area. Now on day one when we got on board, you were able to go around and have a look at the kids club areas and register your little one as well. Now it's fantastic to go in and see what kind of facilities they had and different activities, and Oliver was really super excited. Now being 3.5 years old, he was in an area called the Tree House. It was a fantastic area. They had lots of arcade games, they had books, they had a really nice station with lots of TVs and PS4s, and I really like that actually, because the little ones and stuff are starting to get into those kind of things and stuff nowadays with the amount of technology we have in our lives. But it's handy that he can kind of sit there and play Minecraft if he wants to, or something kind of on that level. You have a lovely arts and crafts area. They had this really cool climbing frame area where they could go down a slide, and had little kind of like soft padded like playthings and what have you. And there was even an outside area for the kids club, which I thought was really interesting, because I haven't seen that before on another kids club on the other cruise lines we've done. But it was a nice little outside area that had again a slide and kind of climbing frame and bits and bobs, and they could also kind of utilize little bikes and stuff out there. But he really enjoyed that. The kids club on first impression looked absolutely fantastic, and as the kind of week progressed and stuff, they had so many activities. Every time I picked Oliver up, he would have something different that he's done that day. So one day he was making a kind of little wristband or a little necklace and stuff out of little kind of string and little beads and stuff they have. Another day they were making kind of foam face masks. I picked him up one night and he was a pirate with like face paint on and a hat, superhero the next night. So they obviously do all these different themed activities throughout your cruise, and I'll leave some links in the description for the kind of kids club activity booklet. So if you want to see what that's like and some of the different activities they run, then hit the link in the description below and you'll be able to see those booklets there for you. But it was really nice to see actually what the kids clubs were like. They had so many fun activities, and the hours were very reasonable as well. They were open initially from kind of like 9 AM till about 12, then it would usually open from kind of 2 till 5 or 1 till 5 depending on the day. There was one particular day actually where it was open all the way through till 5. Then it would generally shut while everyone goes and has tea, and at 7 PM it would open all the way through till 10 PM. So you had a really good amount of time to drop your little one off, and they had such a good chance to do all the different activities. For the older kids, you've got slightly more sophisticated rooms, but the principle's the same. Lots of nice little hangout areas. They could do a lot of kind of self-play and bits and bobs, but there's also activities and crafts and foosball and ping pong, all that kind of stuff that you can do. And for the older kids, they've got a more kind of private and personal hangout area, again with video games and nice little kind of hangout spot, TV, all that kind of stuff. But obviously I'm throwing up some footage as I talk now of the different kids clubs, and they are really good. If you want to know anything specific about each kids club or want to see some more photos, again click the link in the description and they'll be on there for you. But yeah, that's the first thing you can do with little ones though, is obviously go to the kids clubs. Now the next thing you can actually do with your little ones is go to some trivia. Now even though Oliver is only 3.5 years old, we did decide to do some trivia together, and it was actually quite nice actually, and depending on what kind of trivia you choose, they can get involved with it. So for example, me and Oliver went and did a world flag trivia. Now he's only 3.5 years old, but obviously with it being kind of more picture based, he's able to recognise certain flags and stuff. He actually did surprisingly well, bless him. It was just really good fun. Obviously it's a way you can interact together, you can ask them questions, they can give their answers and stuff, and even if they don't get it right, you can still have a good time and what have you, and make it fun and enjoyable for them. There's lots of really good trivia on board the Princess cruises, as with other cruise lines, so you can check out the different planners for each day and try and choose, you know, which one to head to. It's a really good kind of intermediate activity if the weather's a bit kind of dull and you need to come indoors for a minute, or let's say you're waiting for kids club to open or a restaurant or whatever it may be. It's quite handy just to pop along and do a quick half-hour trivia, and obviously you can head off to whatever it is you're looking to do next. But the trivia was fantastic. I really enjoyed doing it with Oliver. So now we move on towards the outdoor activities. Now on board Sky Princess, they've got a lovely sports court area, and they also have a nice mini golf area. Now the sports court area is kind of a nice basketball arena, but they've also got tennis rackets and balls set up. You've got the nets and stuff available as well. There's footballs in there and a variety of different equipment. So you can just go along at any time, have a bit of a kick around, you know, play some basketball. They do occasionally run kind of specific activities where, for example, it's like a basketball competition or maybe like a tennis competition or something like that, but those will be scheduled on the planner and you can see when those are. But any time's kind of around that, you could just go along, grab some equipment, and it's a really good way as well to meet other people. One day that we were there, another little group which had a little boy and a little girl, they came along and they played with Oliver as well. So it's just a really nice way to, you know, meet people, but also just get some fresh air and have a bit of exercise as well. The mini golf area isn't quite like on, for example, Carnival Celebration or Royal Caribbean, where you've got kind of really flamboyant, pretty, colourful, you know, holes and stuff set up. It's very, very basic. It's basically a putting green, but again, it's still fun and it's a free activity. Oliver really enjoyed just going up there, making up his own little course, if you like, and then you can kind of just practice your putting. And again, you're outside and you're getting fresh air. So that was a really, really nice outdoor activity, and we really enjoyed that on board Sky Princess. Remaining outside, the other thing you can do on Sky Princess, of course, is go to one of the many swimming pools. Now, on Sky Princess, there isn't an indoor pool. However, you have got a really nice set of outdoor pools. In the main kind of Lido deck, you've got two really nice large kind of pool decks on the main kind of area. You've then got some hot tubs dotted around, and you've also got a nice pool at the rear of the ship. One thing that I did really like about Sky Princess is that the pools are actually heated, which, given the fact that this was a UK cruise in Europe, is really, really appreciated, as we're starting to get into the warmer season, but it is still quite chilly out, and it's just nice just to have a little bit of warmth in the pool just to take the edge off. And the pools were really, really nice. We really enjoyed them, and I also like that they were very shallow as well. A lot of cruise lines have these pools where they can go up towards kind of 1.8, 1.9 meters, which is kind of my limit. That's my height. So even I would kind of struggle to stand up, but these ones range from kind of 0.8 to kind of 0.9 meters, or 1.5 being the highest. So I could stand up quite comfortably, which is nice because it means that I can then carry Oliver and support him, while also not, you know, making sure that I'm kind of stable and safe enough as well. Of course, you do get life jackets dotted around the pool, so if you've got a little one and you want them to wear a life jacket, these are available. You just grab one off the rack, put it on your little one, they can use it, and then you just return it when you're done. I didn't see any lifeguards available, which I thought was a little bit surprising, as most cruise lines are really good at having lifeguards on board ships. But there's a lot of people around, and obviously my kind of advice with that is you should always be keeping an eye on your little ones anyway, even if lifeguards are on duty. But obviously just keep in mind that there is no additional kind of support available, if you like, immediately anyway, watching the pools. But again, you can visit the pools, have a lot of fun, and just enjoy the sunshine and stuff on board. That's definitely a fun activity to do with little ones, and me and Oliver did it on every day on our cruise as well, which was fantastic. So the other thing you can do, obviously, on board your cruise is go to one of the different eateries and stuff. Now, with little ones and stuff, they often have a variety of different appetites, and with a cruise and stuff, it's fantastic. You can just go along whenever you want and get something to eat. So you have got a really nice large buffet area with a really extensive kind of list and variety of options. They had a really good kids section, which had obviously your usual kind of chicken nuggets, fries, plain pasta, fish fingers, that kind of stuff. You had quite a lot of variety in terms of international cuisines. They had a lovely Asian section, Indian, all that kind of different stuff coming in, which was really, really nice to see. You had the usual kind of bread, breadsticks, different salads. They had a lovely little pastry section where you could go along and get fresh cakes and nice coffee and fruit and all sorts of really lovely goodies. But that we really enjoyed kind of doing on the cruise. You've got lots of nice little locations by the pool as well, where you can grab a slice of pizza or maybe a hot dog or burger. There's even a little ice cream section on board the pool. Now, one thing that's really impressive is that the ice cream on board is actually free and it's available right by the pool. Some cruise lines have an additional charge for this, particularly if it is by the pool. Other times it's just not included at all anywhere. It just depends on the cruise line. But for Princess and on board Sky Princess at the moment, there is a nice little ice cream hut right next to the pool. You can go along and grab a vanilla or chocolate cone, sprinkle sauce, all that lovely stuff, and the little ones absolutely love it, which is fantastic. So that's one thing that you can definitely do on board, which was really, really nice. Following on from that, the other thing you can do, which we kind of took part in, is you can order room service straight to your room. So in the Medallion app on board, there's a little section and stuff, and you can order complimentary items straight to your cabin. And for little ones, they've got, you know, chicken nuggets and quesadillas and stuff like that. But you can order that to your cabin and have like a little night in, which is fantastic. Me and Oliver had a nice little kind of movie night in, and that will lead me on to my next point in just a moment, which is about the kind of movies available for little ones. But lots of really good, you know, eating places on board. The little ones and stuff absolutely love it, and obviously you can kill some time and enjoy some good food with your little ones on board as well. So the next thing that I found that you can do with little ones on board a Princess cruise, and I just kind of alluded to it, is the in-room movies. Now on your TV in your cabin, there is actually a section where you can go in there, and they've got a massive selection of movies and TV shows that you can watch for free. And it was really, really handy to find it. Actually, I didn't realise it until day 2, because quite often, a lot of the time, cruise lines have an additional charge for the movies they have on board, but on Princess they don't. It was fully included. You could go on in and you could watch anything from, you know, Ice Age to the Simpsons movie and all sorts of lovely different kids shows as well. It was really, really handy, because if you came back in the evening, say after kids club, or if you're feeling a little bit tired, it's quite handy to come back in and you can just sit and relax. The kids can watch a movie, they can have some food delivered to the room, and it's just like a nice little way to enjoy some downtime, some chill time, while still obviously kind of keeping them entertained, which I found really useful. There were a couple of nights and stuff where we came back early, and it's just nice just to sit, start winding down, but you can obviously watch a nice little movie together and have a giggle. But Oliver really enjoyed that. We did that a couple of nights of the cruise. I definitely recommend doing that with your little ones as well, if you want to kind of start winding down for the evening. So the other thing you can do with your little ones is go to one of the many game shows on board. Now, Princess Cruises did a fantastic job at hosting a variety of different game shows throughout the ship at varied periods throughout your cruise. One thing that we did one night that we really enjoyed was the Can You Survive game show. This was kind of themed to Survivor and was kind of linked with the Discovery Channel, but it was just really, really fun to watch, and with it being quite colourful and involving kind of funny mini games and stuff like that, even Oliver at 3.5 years old was able to sit there and get into it. And because the questions they were asking for the trivia based side of it were A, B, C and D, you could ask them and say, you know, what answer do you think? And they would go A, and you know, it's just, it gets all kind of excitement and keeps them entertained, and also they can watch the kind of fun activities they have to do to win the prizes and the points and what have you. But that was a really good game show. They had Deal or No Deal one day as well. That, again, kind of classic game show here in the UK, was fantastic to watch and kept Oliver really entertained. And they're on top of, you know, the usual kind of stuff you see on board cruises, like the theatre shows, different theatre acts and productions. Little ones can obviously go along to that and sit and watch those as well. And obviously you can gauge as to how kind of interested or bothered your little one may be. They had an Elton John tribute act one night, which I knew Oliver wouldn't be too fussed about, but I went along and saw it and it was fantastic while he was in kids club. Another night there was a theatre production on with, you know, different lights, music and dancing, and I thought he may be interested in it, and he enjoyed it. So it just depends obviously on what it is you're looking for, but there's lots of lovely game shows and theatre productions as well that your little ones can enjoy. Just be sure to check out the different kind of daily planner each day and just pick and choose what it is that you may be interested in doing. But some great stuff on board Sky Princess in the theatre, you will not be disappointed. So my last thing then that I really loved about Princess Cruises actually, and I thought this was a really fun activity you could do with little ones, and we're staying on the subject of movies, and that is movies under the stars. Now most cruise lines will have a kind of movie night every night of the cruise and what have you, where when the pool kind of shuts down and they start packing away the sun lounges, it turns into a bit of a movie theatre, and they'll often have one of the kind of new films and stuff that's just been in the cinemas showing on the big screen for you. Now this was no exception. However, one thing I really liked about Princess is they actually kind of elevated movie night. They would turn a lot of the sun lounges into these really nice kind of beds. They had these nice kind of like foam cushions on them with a really, really nice kind of plump headrest, and then you had these nice kind of blankets. And it was absolutely fantastic. You could just lay in a really comfy seat and watch, obviously, you know, whatever movie they had on the big screen. You've got really good audio, really good picture, and it's just a lovely little environment with all the lights and stuff. It just creates a really nice experience. Another really nice bonus as well, they had free popcorn available at the bar, so you could just go up to the bar and grab this kind of movie style bag of popcorn, take that back to your seat, or go and grab an ice cream and do that as well. You've got a bar, so you've got access to drinks, and you could sit out there in the evening and watch one of the many movies that they were showing. The movies ranged from kind of kid friendly to maybe a little bit more adulty, but there was never anything that was too, you know, scary or anything like that. It was always kind of an appropriate movie, but you could obviously go out there and enjoy the atmosphere. Worst case, you could just sit and lay on the blankets and have a chat and what have you, have a little bit of a you know, a chat within your group and stuff, a bit of a laugh. But it was just a really, really nice section of the ship, actually. I loved going out there late at night, grabbing a blanket, and me and Oliver sometimes just went out there and laid there for a little bit. He had an ice cream, I could eat some popcorn. It was just a really, really nice, pleasant place. So that's one thing that I would definitely look at doing with your little ones. And again, it's quite a nice kind of winding down activity where you can just sit, start to calm down as they kind of wind down before the evening finishes. But really, really love that on Princess ships. Again, most cruise lines do have this kind of movie night where they put a film on board, but a lot of the time there's kind of not blankets available, and there's definitely not the kind of cushions and padded seats and stuff available. But that was really, really nice to see on board Sky Princess, and I definitely recommend checking that out if you are on board. So there we have it then. That is some of the things that I think that you can do with your little ones on board a Princess cruise, but in particular a Sky Princess cruise. I was really, really pleasantly surprised, actually. I did go in a little bit hesitant because obviously with the likes of Sky Princess, for example, versus say Carnival Celebration or Wonder of the Seas or something like that, you haven't got, you know, a water park area or slides or an arcade or anything like that. So I was a little bit worried about maybe there wasn't quite enough to do, but I was really, really pleasantly surprised, actually. And I think a big part of that is down to the fantastic kids clubs on board. Like I say, when Oliver went along, he was always having fun. It's great that he could play air hockey with someone or go on the little kind of climbing frame and, you know, slides and stuff, or do one of the activities, and he absolutely loved it. He always loved like making the little bands and bracelets and stuff that he did, or, you know, making the little foam face mask. But he had a lot of fun, and that's fantastic to see. So the kids clubs were really, really well done. The activities on board and stuff, including the likes of the game shows and the trivia, and all that stuff was absolutely fantastic. I know he really, really enjoyed his time on board, and I would definitely take him on board another Princess cruise again, having the confidence now that there is enough to do, even if you have got a ship, say, that hasn't got these kind of fancy water parks, arcades and stuff like that. It was really, really, really pleasantly surprised at how good it was. So yeah, I really enjoyed it with little ones. If you are a bit skeptical, obviously, I hope this video is going to help put your mind at ease. If you have any questions about anything that I've covered in this video, or anything else that, you know, you may be wondering about, if you are anticipating doing a cruise with a little one, then please leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I possibly can. But in the meantime, all that's going to be for this video though. Many thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.
Welcome back to the channel.
Ready for another cruise? Let's go!